Hi, everybody, and welcome to sasoccermag.com. Big week. Never expected to be talking about Bafana Bafana. When it comes to African Cup of Nations, we haven't been involved in these tournaments really for a long time. Certainly haven't got this far forever.
Pretty much my whole lifetime, basically.
Well, yeah. You as a lady, I think it's been almost quarter of a century, just under since we've gotten this far. We won it in '96, obviously, but and we play Nigeria, who you've done the deep dive into this thing, so I'm gonna let you do most of the talking. But some of my observations, obviously, Ronwyn Williams basically was Spider-Man, Superman, whatever hero you want to put it. What a performance in that game. And yeah, here we are. Talk us through some of the stats you've been doing. This is why I call you Moneyball. And this is, let's chat about some of the stats.
I think it's this game will be a showcase of the defensive side of AFCON.
Yeah.
Both teams have been really difficult to break down. South Africa's only conceded 2 goals in the competition. Nigeria only won.
That's 3 in 10 games.
Yeah, both teams, and they've played some pretty big fixtures along the way. I mean, South Africa versus Morocco, the tournament favourites, to keep a clean sheet against them was a big surprise.
Well, the interesting stat that I like is that, well, I don't like it. I mean, I like goals. But South Africa and Nigeria conceded collectively 3 goals in their first game. But since then, the last 8 games haven't conceded
4 clean sheets each.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah, it is. And I think South Africa's defence has probably surprised me the most about this competition. I think we know that we have some good attacking players.
Mm-hmm.
Mvala and Kekana both have been great at the back. And I think also looking at the Morocco game, Kekana I think got a yellow card very early, but showed his experience. He's one of the best defenders in South Africa for a reason. So I think it'll be a very tight game, even though Nigeria have the best squad left in AFCON.
On paper. The games aren't won on paper, though, are they?
It'll be a very difficult game, I think.
Yeah.
South Africa have a good chance, I believe. Yeah.
So I like South Africa's chances, especially with Osman, who plays for Napoli, and highly valued. You value him at 100 million.
His release clause is 150.
Wow.
So
okay. So
he's top tier.
Okay, and then their replacement, an ironic name, Tara Murphy. With Osman maybe not playing, that gives Bafana Bafana an even greater chance. But I see a 0-0 draw in this game. I think that when you get to these stages of the game as well, the stages of the tournament, you're also, a lot of teams play not to lose, which is hard to avoid when the pressure and the intensity of this thing gets to that level. I just see another 0-0 game here.
I agree. I think looking at the way if Bafana try and go man for man against Nigeria, I don't think that will be the right approach. They have a lot of very talented individuals. 3 of their 4 midfielders or 4 of their 5 midfielders play in the Premier League. It's difficult to match that man for man. And I think looking at the way we played against Cape Verde, we did create a few chances. We got quite a few shots on goal. But they're just lacking a bit of that clinical edge, I think. And I think to go all out to Nigeria would be a bit naive.
I don't see why they would change their game plan now. It's they got a well-seasoned coach. Their back 4 Sundowns. Sorry, it's in Cape Town. Sundowns players used to playing together, and the manager, the coaches look like a genius selecting those 4 players. And look, 4 clean sheets in a row. A 5th would at least get them to a penalty shootout and maybe the AFCON final.
Yeah, hopefully Williams will pull something off again. I can see him doing it.
Spider-Man. Yeah. Well, if he plays the way he did, who'd bet against them? I do like the 6.6 for a 0-0 draw.
That's for a South Africa win.
That's for a South Africa win. Okay, what's the draw paying?
3.55 for just a draw. Then we said 0 goals was 6.6. Actually, it was, sorry. It was 6.6.
I was right. Okay.
Yeah, you were
We
right.
can-
Sorry,
okay,
sorry.
anyway. So we said that the draw is 6.6.
Yeah.
In fact, what I like, even in the second game, you know, it's those teams haven't been exactly prolific either. And I could well see a 0-0 draw in both games. And I like that for 200 Rand for 36.96 to 1, which would pay back 7,392. What do you think of that bet?
I think that's a really good bet because looking at...
Could you temper your enthusiasm, though?
Could I temper it?
Just calm down a little.
Yeah, I'm shaking under this table.
I
Yeah.
know. Deep down.
Congo have only won one game in 90 minutes this tournament.
Yeah.
So I think that's a very good opportunity. Ivory Coast have been inconsistent. It's almost a shock that they've gotten this far, even though they are the hosts. I mean, midway through the group stage, they lost 4-0 to Equatorial Guinea, and at that point you think to yourself, this could be an absolute nightmare for them.
Well, everybody's allowed to crap the bed once, right?
And that was pretty bad. So they're not allowed to, next tournament, they have to be perfect. I think that's a really good bet.
Yeah. Who do you see winning the, who do you see score predictions for Bafana Bafana Nigeria?
I think if it gets to penalties, South Africa have a really good shot.
Yeah.
I think...
If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle in the old days. Not so sure anymore, but come on, give me a score.
I do think Nigeria's attack is very potent.
Yeah.
So I'm going to back Bafana and go for just because, like I said, similar to my Liverpool prediction last week, I'm biased.
Yeah.
So I'll go for a 1-1 after 90 minutes, and then a 3-2 Bafana win on penalties. That's what I hope happens.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a 0-0 draw in both games, and Bafana to box it in the shootout on a coin toss, and I like the Ivory Coast to win the game in extra time 1-0.
Okay.
Let's go Bafana Bafana, and hopefully we have a Springbok and a Bafana Bafana. Imagine what the parade would be like for South African soccer.
I mean, I can't remember a single one in my life, so it would be the first one I've seen.
Well, me too. Anyway, best of luck, boys. And before we wrap up the show, there's a Patriot thing that I want to chat about. If you'd have put 200 Rand down on the Box to win the World Cup, for Bafana Bafana to win the African Cup of Nations, and Dricus du Plessis to win the title, for 200 Rand you would have got back 128,000 Rand. I'm feeling really stupid not being patriotic.
I should love my country more.
You should love your country. So should everybody else.
Yeah.
It'd be 128,000 Rand richer if Bafana Bafana come in. Or you could probably cash it out for about 50,000. Anyway, you would have made a lot of money if you'd been patriotic. Interesting fact.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dylan.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers, bud.